Hi, Veena. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hi Vasudha, how many people are joining the session every day? Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, again. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so how many people are joining the session every day live?
Like only these people only they are joining the sessions regularly. Like Garima, Veena, Shahili. Hardly five, I will say. Omar.
Okay.
Rohan joins, but not regularly, but he joins the class.
So, did you inform them about the Capstone project?
We are only left with two sessions, like today's session, and hardly will take two more sessions to complete this track.
Okay,
So
then we will give them some time to Capstone project and then we'll start the track 3, right?
yeah, correct.
Okay.
And I have also asked them if they have any doubt in the track two, but as till now I haven't received any kind of queries from
Okay.
except two or three people.
Okay. Anyone have any question for me?
No, sir.
Then I'm leaving the call. Please continue, Vasudha. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so hi everybody. So as I was mentioning just now that we are only left with two more sessions for this particular track. So you all need to work upon your capstone project. So if you have any doubts in this previous track or you need me to repeat any of the topics, any sessions, any particular requirement that you may have and which I have missed, so you can let me know so that I can prepare accordingly, like how I have to plan. So, and please ask questions because if you don't ask any question, then I'll understand that uh, one that you understand everything, or I'm not teaching enough that you have any questions, or I don't know, or you're not even watching the videos. And from the recording uploads as well, I can see there are only two, three people who are actually viewing the videos. So what's the reason? Like, actually, we also want to know that what's the issue. So you don't have time enough. Like, are we rushing everything? So we can modify things accordingly, right? Any comments?
I think, ma'am, when we do the classes, so you are performing the exercises.
Yeah.
But I think what we can do is that we can do little exercises during the class simultaneously also.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it will be a
So that
little fun also, and we'll practice and we'll gain more confidence also, apart from the exercises that we have in the PDFs that you share.
okay. Sure. So I'll do this way only from the next track, since this is the map library is the normal like basic concept of just how to make web maps and everything. So from the next track, I'll do it like that. Whatever exercise that I'll do, I'll pre-share all the data sets and everything for every single session, like before the session only, so that you are ready with downloads and everything, and then we'll do every single demo together one by one. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
sure. Okay, so today we are gonna know about what MapLibre GLJS is, and it is one of the open source JavaScript library. So till now, whatever we have understood or whatever we have learned in the previous sessions about variables, about Python, and all the concepts, those were more or less related to the analysis part of the GIS, where how you can create an output or generate some insights from the satellite data or from any kind of a spatial data for that matter. But everybody have a question, like we get stuck at the stage, like once we have the analysis, how do we actually present it or how do we showcase it? So there comes the importance of MapLibre GLJS. So it is a JavaScript library, which is an interactive open source library, and it helps you to create whatever output, whatever raster vector data that you have created as an output file from your analysis, or whatever you want to show it in form of a web application, you can just display it using MapLibre GLJS. Though there are many other open source libraries and proprietary libraries as well, which will help you to do that, but we'll be focusing on MapLibre GLJS. There is another called GeoServer and other things as well, where how you can host the layer and publish the layer and then consume it into a web application. We'll do all those things in the next track. But right now we'll be focusing on MapLibre GLJS. There is another library called DeepFloodJS, which is equally compatible and equally good like MapLibre. The only advantage that MapLibre is that MapLibre has more functionalities or more compatibility related to 3D rendering of the datasets. So it is an open source JavaScript library. That means no cost, and it helps you create interactive web maps directly inside a browser. That's simply like you're writing a code into your HTML. If somebody have any time written their code in a index as a JavaScript file, so you just need to embed this URL of MapLibre.js into your index.html file, and you will be able to use all the functionalities that comes with MapLibre.js. It is similar to tools like Mapbox and Leaflet. So there are, as I mentioned, there are another libraries and other tools to make web maps and display your outputs as a interactive layers into a web browser. So like Leaflet and Mapbox. But again, I mentioned that Leaflet is also open source, but there are problems of 3D rendering, and there sometimes for certain functionalities you need to like add on the plugins with the Leaflet, and there are many dependencies within that. Though a lot of people use that as well. So here I have mentioned it is high performance, fully customizable. If I am saying fully customizable, means you can add your styles, you can add attribute-based colors, attribute-based mapping, all those things directly within your code once you have the data hosted or you have the tile ready for the publishing. So when I say high performance map rendering, so that capability comes from WebGL. So WebGL is some kind of a browser technology which MapLibre uses. The main importance of this technology is basically that it uses your system's graphic card to render maps and everything instead of a CPU capability. So that's why it is more fast and more advanced. It helps you to have a smooth zoom and the pan. Pan means just hover over the map and everything. So as I explained in one of the sessions, like when you zoom into the Google Maps, it loads tile by tiles and it has a very fast zoom and zoom in and zoom out rate. So that is basically because they are using some very high end technology to ensure that their web map loading capability is very fast and everything. So MapLibre similarly, MapLibre also allows you smooth zoom and pan and handles million of features very easily. Works well with vector tiles. So you can read about the vector tiles, what vector tiles are. And then real-time style updates means let's suppose you are rendering your attributes. Let's suppose you have the data saved as in spatial data in your DB. And from there, you are fetching into your web application. And on the basis of some attributes, you are having a drop down created into your web application, and you are just switching and querying on the go on real time in your browser. You are just updating the drop down values, and then you are rendering, means the visualization of the map is also getting changed at that time as well in the web application. So those real-time style updates can be easily performed using MapLibre GLJS because it has the capability of WebGL. For example, like a road network of an entire city can still render smoothly in the browser because road network are usually very heavy files. Next one is vendor tile rendering. So what do you mean when I say vendor tile rendering? Vector tile rendering, as I mentioned. So it is built mainly for vector tiles only, though it supports raster and other data sets also. But vector tiles means it will contain vector tiles of any of the data instead of basic images. So there are one way, like when we were studying of leaf map and folium, there we performed like I converted the raster file into an image overlay, and then I displayed it over the folium base map. So that was it converted it into an image so that it renders fast, and then we displayed. But the problem with converting your data set into an image is, let's suppose you want to have a pop-up. You want to make that feature clickable, that you click on that, it highlights, it shows some pop-up value. All those things are not actually possible with images. Those things are only possible when you have some feature available within your data. So if you want to load that thing into your web application, in those cases, you cannot afford to publish images. We need to publish vector tiles only. Vector tiles can contain all kinds of data like road, building, water, land use, labels, means any kind of point, polygon, line, or symbology. Let's suppose you have applied labels as well, like a text-based label you want over the polygon district boundary. So those label, all kind of styling, all kind of geometry it supports, and it can render. Advantage of vector tile rendering is simple, that if you convert your data into a vector tile, it will be into a smaller size. So again, the same thing, that it will load faster. Dynamic styling, different zoom levels, feature interactivity. By feature interactivity, I mean, let's suppose you are clicking on the feature, you are having a pop-up, you are highlighting that particular feature, all those things. If you see different dashboard that people create with spatial data sets, those comes with feature interactivity only. So common source include these kind of tiles. Data are mostly available with open OSM datasets, map tiler tiles, and you can also publish yourself tiles, and whatever data maybe you have, you can publish it as a tile server and then consume it into the web application. Next thing is stylization. So in this, it is very easy to apply a style into your layers. So you can just create a JSON of the style file and then apply into it. So MapLibre map are controlled using a style JSON file. So you can have a separate JSON file as well, or within that code only. If you have a very smaller code file, you can write this style in a JSON format. I told you how the JSON format looks like. It looks something like a dictionary. There will be key values pair. So similarly, you can create a dictionary for your style, and it will be like a JSON file, and then you can consume it into your layers and apply whatever style you want to apply. By style, I mean color, changing on the font, layer visibility. If you want to like have a checkbox into your web application, you want to on and off the layer while you are doing something within the application. So those kind of features, zoom rules you can apply within your style. Let's suppose if scaling based zoom level, you can also set for different layers, labels, line, width, symbol placement, anything you can think of, and you can do it using MapLibre style.json. Then we'll be also creating custom base maps. Let's suppose you want to create your own base map where you want to change the themes from, you want to have different themes and all those things, and specific for your project, you want to style it differently. We will be also doing the styling of the base maps, like you want dark theme maps, minimal base map, transportation maps. Similarly, there will be many more thematic base map. Let's suppose you have some kind of a LULC data, and in that your LULC data, generally there are only 5 classes. But let's suppose for your specific project, you don't want only 5. You want, let's suppose, 6 classes, or you want only 2 classes, which is depending upon what do you want to show in terms of a base map in your web application. So we can create thematic base maps as per our requirements, and by putting different styles or changing anything or making it more customized. So when I say what are vector tiles, so vector tiles will be your data. When I say style JSON, that will be your design. And when I say map library, that will be a complete engine which will combine your data with the design, and then you'll have a beautiful looking map. Then comes the important part. We have done designing and all those things, but when it comes to map library, they work on the 2 concepts, which are source and layer. Source means from where the data is coming from. Layers means how you want to display it to the end user when it comes to the visualization. So source can be of any type. You can have a vector tile, you can have raster tile, GeoJSON data, image sources, terrain, anything you can put it here. Only the requirement, because map library is for spatial addressing, it should have a location component attached to it. Next one is the how the data will be displayed. So these are the common things. Let's suppose fill. If you have a polygon data, you will obviously need a line, outline, and a fill. If it's a line data, it will be a normal line. If they are point data, then maybe you will have some symbols, some circles, some markers. You can even create your own SVG and have those point. Let's suppose you are showing something about temperature, and you want to, in this temperature, you want to show a sun gif, or in a rain or for snow, you want to show a animated gif for snowfall, for sun shining, like those things. You can create your own SVG and have it integrated into your application. And there is no limitation about, if let's suppose you have created a cluster map, you have created a heat map, all those kinds of symbology, all those things that you create in your basic QGIS, Python as an output, all those outputs, you can put it exactly into the MapLibre browser, the web application. Nothing will be changed. You don't really need to convert it into images and everything. You can put it exactly like that into your web application. The only thing that we need to take care of is what is the file size, and we need to put those files into a correct format and in a proper, or I'll say compatible file size, so that the loading and the rendering of the file is smooth. This I already mentioned. Data-driven styling means we can create expressions, and on the basis of a data, on the basis of the attributes that we have, we can create expressions and we can create dynamic thematic maps. As I mentioned, let's suppose here we can write circle color here. If you want to have, let's suppose you have a point data set and you want to define what should be the circle color, and that color also you want to have a different color on the basis of some attribute value that you have within your data. So let's suppose for parks you only want green, for water you want blue, those kinds of everything, styling as per attributes and as per spatial filter as well, we can apply those different styles. For interactive, we will be using map.on. So anywhere, this will work like a simple JS. So you need to little bit work upon the JavaScript part if you want to actually learn how to utilize MapLibre. Though I will be telling you how to add the MapLibre library. But other than that, if you want to learn about the HTML, how to write the JS code, so you need to really learn about how to write JavaScript code to bring more functionalities to it. But basic little bit I'll tell you. So for adding the map, there is you have to write map.on, and when you write map.on and you want to enable the click functionality, so we use the function like this: click cities, cities may be a layer name of the variable where we have stored the layer, and then we are creating a different function for having the pop-up and what all information that you want in pop-up. So maybe I want a lat long, I want a city name as a HTML means. Maybe I just want to create a box and there I want to display the city map and then I want to add it into the map. So those kinds of things we can support. So few example of what all you can do is like click event anywhere you are clicking within your dashboards, you are having some kinds of results, you are querying your data. Hover effect, let's suppose you are just panning your mouse into the map and while you are hovering the color of or the feature is getting highlighted, it is showing some information. Those effects you can have. Layer filtering, let's suppose you have a drop down enabled within your web application and you can have a drop down, you can filter the data, animation, dynamic styling, all those things can be done. The very important thing why MapLibre is a little bit different is that it supports, it has very good function compatibility with 3D mapping and 3D visualization of the data. So let's suppose you want to show the 3D slopes, DEM elevation, you have created a 3D elevation data into the QGIS and then you want to display as it is into the web application. So all those things can be displayed properly by using the DEM tiles. So if you have created 3D building, you have extruded those buildings with the help of some kind of a, suppose you have building heights, you have extruded those building in QGIS, you have the data, you created a tile, and then you want to display those building extrusion and data sets into the web application. So all those things can be done here. Custom data integration, I already told, we'll be practicing more with custom data only. Custom data simply means that whatever data that you are creating within it, all those things you can add on easily to the MapLibre. Then comes the important part, like self-hosting. So unlike there are another mapping libraries as well. You can host your own tiles, you can control the whole infrastructure, and it can help you, like you can have many more layers integrated into the MapLibre, and it has very high in terms of the speed, it is very good. So host tile using, there are many tools like for hosting and everything that we'll discuss later. I have mentioned to here like tileserver.gl, how you can host the tiles and everything, and there is one called Tegula. But you don't necessarily need to do all these hosting for now. We'll be using simple mapping library for now. Once we end at track 3, after that, we'll do a complete hands-on session on how to do the vector hosting and everything. Then if you have integrated MapLibre.js into your JavaScript code, then it's not like that it will only work on your laptop. There is no restriction. It can work on desktop, tablets, mobile browser, web app, or laptop browsers. Anywhere it will simply work. Common uses, maybe you are creating a complete dashboard, you are completing a web application. So for those purposes, mostly we will be using the MapLibre library. So today I just only covered like what a basic gist about what MapLibre.js is. So it is one of the it will help you to host the vector style, apply whatever data that you have created into a interactive maps and forms. You can just display your data into a web browser based application. You can just create a beautiful web application using this particular library, and every geospatial functions are available within this like most of the things you can do with it. Now we'll do a little bit of exercise. So we'll be creating a simple web application. So anybody have ever created a web application before using JavaScript or anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So um, So I'll tell you how to integrate the JS, but I'll be very frank that if you want to use this library extensively for creating web application, you need to learn how to write JavaScript code. Then only you will be able to actually create a web application. So the basic web application, how you can create, I'll tell you how to add the map, how to add the pop-ups, how to add the layers. Those things I'll tell you. But let's suppose in terms of the UI part of a web application, how to add a drop down, how to do the query, how to fetching the data also I'll tell you. But in terms of UI, if you want to play more and you want to do more stuff, so I'll recommend that if you are interested, you should start learning JavaScript. I can share the sources how you can learn that, but that's up to you. Like if you have interest for web development, then go for it. Otherwise, just stick to the normal analysis part only. Okay. So, but still, I'll explain you a little bit how to set up a normal JS application. So whenever you are creating a JavaScript code, there are three things that are important. One is the index file, another is the main file, third is the CSS. Three things are important: HTML, JS, and CSS. So what HTML will do? HTML will help you create a wireframe of your application. Means where should be the header, where should be the drop down, where should be the map container, where should I put the table if I want to put the table. Let's imagine a dashboard. So it will simply help you like put things into a picture. That will be done using index. Then if you want to add the interaction part to your code, let's suppose you want to create clickable function. You have created a button in the index and you want to make that button a clickable function. For that, we write JS. There comes the JavaScript part. And that's why MapLibre is also a JavaScript library. But the difference is MapLibre.js is a specific mapping library, but JavaScript is very vast. It can help you do many more things available in terms of web application. Then third is the CSS part. Let's suppose you want to beautify your web application. You want to have certain colors. You want to have any kind of beautification within your wireframe structure. You will be using different .css file. Though I'll not say that you cannot write everything within index. You can write everything within index, but it's always preferred that you separate these three files and then link these three files together so that you have like segregated files for each task. So simply let's just create a folder and then download the Visual Studio Code into your systems. How you can download the Visual Studio Code? I'll share the link. Do not download the Visual Studio Code, just download the Visual Studio. Just okay. So you can just download it as per your system, whatever Mac or Windows, depending on that. Download this Visual Studio Code from here. You can just click on, for Windows, if you have Windows, just click on from here, it will get downloaded and then just install it. Very simple installation, nothing much. So then after that, you'll get something like this. After installation, you will have this kind of interface for Visual Studio Code. This is the IDE, like which will help you to write code. All kinds of code you can write. In fact, whatever in Python as well, whatever we did in Google Colab, all those things you can do in Visual Studio. But the only difference, you need to install the Python into this, and you have to enable the plugins and everything. Then let's suppose once we have this, you can open any of the folder that you have created. So let's suppose in our case, we already created a folder, MapLibrary demo. So we created this folder, and then you need to create a file. You can create this file anywhere from folders as well, and from here as well. You have option to create new file. Then you should have to write index. And then for HTML, the extension will be .html. For CSS, the extension will be .css, and for JS, the extension will be .js. So this is how, and you can see that here the symbol is also getting changed as I'm changing the extension. So this is how one should create the index.js, sorry, main.js, a CSS file, and the index file. This is how you can simply create these files. Once you have this file ready, now you will start writing the code one by one. Okay. So whenever you write, this is a JavaScript code. Till now, there is no MapLibrary integration done. This is a basic JavaScript code. Anybody can write it for any of the purposes, be it geospatial task or be it any kind of a web application. So simply for if you have an index, you can anything if you write here, but there is some kind of a structure that you need to follow. First is you should have a HTML tag, then you should have a head tag, then you should have a body tag. So what head will contain? Head will contain the majority, like main important things that you may have for a HTML page. Let's suppose a title, all those things, any script tag, any kind of a style tags, anything which you want to link to this particular HTML, any kind of a link that your third-party link that you're associating with your web application, you put it inside the head. And then any kind of a content that you want to display in your web application, you put it inside the body. So first I'll go with the head only. So I said that any kind of link or external factor or any kind of a encoding, any kind of a third party interaction that you want to have within your web application, you put all those things in the head. So first thing first, this is to support. This is a basic thing that you add meta charset UTF-8 to support any kind of all kind of characters within your browser. So that's why we added that. Then just to add the title of my application, I added my first MapLibrary map. I just added a normal name. You can have it anything. Then come the main integration, which is the MapLibrary integration. Whenever you are integrating a MapLibrary JS, there are two things that comes to it. One is the JS file, another is the CSS file, because there is already inbuilt CS written with a MapLibrary, and you want to just consume that thing because we will be adding the functionalities that are already built within the MapLibrary. You can think it like a Python package. It's not a package, but I'll say it's kind of a Python package where a lot of functionalities that are pre-built and put it inside so that you can directly consume into your web application and make it for use. So you will be adding the .css and you will be adding a .js file. So this is the URL that one should use. And this is a fixed URL until unless the versions are changed. You can have this CSS enabled using link and href. So whatever you link that you use, you should put it inside href. And then if it's a CSS, it will be relational style sheet. Otherwise, JS will be put inside the scripts. Then once this is done, let's suppose you also have a style file and you also have a JS file integrated in this. So at that time also, you will be adding inside head only, and you will be linking your script and CSS file as well here. similarly. Like if this is a CSS file, it will be linked like this, link href. If it is a JS file, it will be linked like this, script src. Okay. But right now, as I mentioned, that you can also add within HTML, there is no problem, but the syntax will be different. If you want to have the style inside the HTML, you will use the style tags like this. And whatever tag you will open, you need to close those tags. So style tag you'll be using, and whatever style you want to apply, you will just add inside this, that body in this, margins, anything that you want, you can add it here. Map, for the map particular container, we have an ID called map, and then what should be the width, what should be the height, we should put here in this. Now head is closed, the head work is over. Now comes the body part. What exactly do you want inside your uh, data, inside your application? In this, you can see that I only have one, in terms of interface, I only have one thing, which is a div container I created. So in order to create when I'm saying a wireframe, means I'm creating a box, and in that box, I'm just putting multiple things. So I'm creating a div container where I want to display the map. So for this container only, I have set the height and width. So I just said the width should be 100%, means whatever will be with the browser side, it will be full width, and accordingly set the vertical height, full screen height I want. So that's why I put it. You can reduce this also. We created a container, and we given the ID and everything. Again, why I gave the ID and everything. This is everything. Whatever I told you, this is the JS part. So you should go and uh, start learning JS if you are interested for web application. Then come the main part, which is the script tag. In the script tag, as I mentioned, that if you want to interact with the application, then you should be using .js. .js is already always put inside the script tag. So there is one way. Either you put your link with different file. So this is kind of a different file only. The only difference is this is hosted somewhere in someone else's system. So we are fetching it like this. If I have created a .js file here, I would have linked it into a script tag, and then it would have worked fine. But since I haven't created a different file, I have created a script tag here, and then I'm writing everything in terms of interactivity for my map inside the script. Okay. This whole thing that I just added, this is only to add the map into a web application. And this map will be added on the basis of the container what I have created, that where I want to display this particular map. For this, I have created a variable called map. In this is the function now which is coming from MapLibrary JS library. So I want to add a new map, and there's a key new and MapLibrary GL.map. This will allow you to add the map into a empty canvas. In this, there are certain properties that goes for creating the map. First one is simple, that where do you want to have your map? So there is a name for that property, which is container, which is fixed. You'll write the container, and then you'll give your ID. Whatever ID you have defined for your HTML wireframe, you'll give that ID. In our case, we have defined the ID as map. So ID for the HTML element where map will load. Simple, that we have written here. Next, you can have style, from how you want to style and everything. So for now, we have loaded this style URL from here. A simple, like for the demo only, I loaded this, but you can create your own style.json here in this folder, and then enable it in this, and it can be linked. So it will help you control the map designs, the layouts, and everything. We'll do these customized styles later in the next demo. Next part is center. So whenever it comes to map, whenever we open any map, you
coordinate.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, now you're audible.
Before that, I was not audible.
No, ma'am.
From how long?
For like 5 seconds.
Acha, okay, fine. I thought I was not audible from very long. Okay, so we need to define the center. So whatever lat long you'll put in this, it will define your initial map center. So let's suppose any lat long you can put here. Then zoom level, like how much scale that you want to put it. So this is the basic setup of HTML that I have created just to add the map into your application. Once you have this, you just save this file to the Control S. Then in this, you will have the option of go live. You can click from here and then it will run it into your browser and it will look something like this. So whatever base map right now is coming, this is the by default base map which is coming from MapLibre.js only. We can change this and do the alteration, like how do you want to visualize it? We'll do all those things also. So when I said that if let's suppose I change the zoom level to 10, let's put the 2 now. So you can see right now, this is looking something like this. If I increase this to 5, now it is looking like this. So this is how you can change where do you want to zoom into your map. Then the center also, accordingly, it is centering to India for now because since Delhi is in the center, if I change something from here, let's suppose 7, 8. Let's suppose instead of India, you want somewhere here, you want your map to be centered. Oh, it should be. Now you can see that it is centered into the browser. So similarly, you can change the center zoom map into your own requirement, how you want to do it. Next, let's suppose you want to add any kind of a marker to any of the location. Today we are doing very basic thing. Then we'll move to how to add the layer and do the styling and everything. So let's suppose you want to add any kind of marker, any kind of a point to any of the lat long. So let's suppose we will be putting a point into the center location only since we have the lat long. So for that, you can add, just write new and then MapLibre.gl. This is basically, you can say like, for example, in Python, we used to have functions. So for MapLibre.gl, this is kind of like pandas as PD. So similarly for MapLibre.gl, this is like that. Instead of PD, we have MapLibre.gl. Now you want to add a marker to that point. We can have different kinds of marker, but if you use a simple marker, what they have enabled by default, let's see. So we have first written that I wanted a new MapLibre.gl marker. So MapLibre.gl dot marker will help you give a marker. Then you have to define where you want to add this marker. So you want to set a latitude, longitude. So we'll set, for that the function will be set lang and then lat, and then we'll pass the list for latitudes and longitudes. Okay. So we pass this would be capital, and then at the end, till now what we have just defined, we haven't added to map. So if you have to add anything now to map, so what you will do, you will use the function add to, and now where you want to add. Now what we will define, we will define this map. From where this map is coming from, this map object that we created, not this ID. I'll change the name for this. So this ID name is mapdiv. Container will be mapdiv, but this is the map object that we created where we have loaded our MapLibrary base map. This is the interaction that we did into a hard-coded container that we created using ID. And
Ma'am,
now,
your voice is not clear.
hello, am I audible? Anybody can you confirm?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
What about others? Am I audible to others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So I was okay. So let's suppose you have a container, you created a map object, and then once you have the map object, now in this particular map object, we want to add some kind of a pointer. So for that, we'll use the function add to. In this map object, we are adding a marker. Oh, see, I was changing the ID here, but I have to change in the style as well. That's why the map was not coming. So you can change these IDs. So this is the map object where we want to add our marker. Now to come. So now this marker is also coming. In this particular marker, let's suppose you want to have some kind of a pop-up. This pop-up can be of very different style. You can embed different beautiful HTML in this to have a nice, beautiful pop-ups in this marker, and also any kind of symbol and everything also. We will do these hands-on to see how we can add these things one by one. For now, I'm adding a pop-up. So for pop-up also, the same thing will go map library.jl because this was the basic uh, main package name. And then I want to have a pop-up in this particular marker only. So simply in this only, I'll add here. So you added this marker, and now along with this marker, you also want to have a pop-up. So for that, we will do set pop-up. Map library GL, new map library GL, where will be space. And now the function what we want to have from this library is pop-up. Since this may be a function within map library GL, so we are calling that particular function. So once you call this function, now you will set pop-up. We have called the library because we needed to call a function called pop-up from this, and now in this I want to have some kind of a text. I can have many things in this. I can even write a function to have a nice beautiful pop-up, but for now I only want a text in this pop-up. So since I want a text, so I'll add text here, Delhi maybe, or Brazil, because we have put the marker for Brazil. So you added a marker with the lat long, you added a pop-up, you added text into that pop-up. Now I'll add this into the map and just save this. I'll go here. If I just click on this, you can see that by default, a pop-up is coming. Till now, we haven't done any modification. This is the by default functionality with map library.js. Though we can add a more beautification and all into this to make this more beautiful, have a color, any kind of thing you can add into this. Okay, so we'll close this till here only so that you can have a grasp on adding the map and everything. And then we'll move on to add the layer data into this map, to maybe add a header, have a drop down, filter the data. So I'll help you create a basic structure of a web application. But before that, I'll share some URLs for map library.js and some recommendation to start learning the JS. You should go through these documentations because I don't know how many of you are actually interested to learn web application part, because that is completely a different area, I would say, like going from analysis to development part. So you should. So this is the MapLibre official documentation page, which will help you to understand more about MapLibre.js, how to integrate, how to add, how to install, how to, since we are using the URLs only to integrate into our application, but you can, let's suppose you can also install and all those things, but you can skip these for now. This particular URL is much more interactive and like you can explore this particular URL and they have many more things about what MapLibre is, how they have created, if you are interested in knowing what actually MapLibre is. And then they also have a GitHub repository where they have codes and everything for basic MapLibre functions. So let's suppose you don't really need to write everything on your own. For example, whatever I have written also here to add a marker, to how to add a map. So basic things you will get into this GitHub repository. So you can explore this repository so that you don't need to actually go and learn about how to write the for a specific functions. There must be code available in this repo, and you can just search that I have this particular task and how should I add the function or what is the available function for my this task, and you'll get that function and just directly use into your web application. You don't need to keep on memorizing and learning that okay, set lang lat is for latitude and longitude. No, you don't need to do that. You just need to know how to add things here. So otherwise, codes, syntax, functions names, all those things you will get by a simple Google search. Okay. Any questions till now what we discussed? And how's your practice going for the previous sessions? I really want to know actually. Veena, how's your practice going?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, Amar.
Thank you for your giving us this opportunity.
Okay. Yes.
For me, I try to connect my Google Earth Engine
Okay.
API with the Google Colab. So
Okay.
still I didn't get. I tried to create a project, but
Mhm.
I watched the videos and I didn't see that part still. So can you help
Okay,
me?
so
Which video section
yeah,
is that?
I can help you. Yes, you can share your screen. And everybody else, if you want to stay, you can. Otherwise, like for today, we are done. Thank you, Veena.
Can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yes, I can share your screen. I can't see now, Omar.
Okay, ma'am. What about now?
Just a minute. Ah, yes, I can see now.
This is my Colab account.
Mhm.
I already have this.
Okay.
So I need to connect with my Google
Yes, yes,
Earth Engine.
yes. So,
So
firstly, you need to install those libraries, huh? Okay. Just a minute.
okay,
I'll share the codes in the chats. By the way, I have also shared the IPYNB file. You can directly open that. Can you download that file?
Yeah, ma'am. Have you set up in the Excel sheet?
Yeah. Excel sheet, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm opening.
I guess the last session that we had. It will be in the notes only. Yeah, this one.
Then
Mm. Oh, there is no file for that. Okay, no, it's not there. Can you go back to the Excel? Okay, there is no file for 13 March, right?
yeah, this is empty.
Okay, not for 13th and not for, we had, just a minute. Can you go to the data link? Can you open this?
This is a note of.
Mm,
I think it's this one.
Nothing. No.
EN.
There's nothing. I guess he again forgot to upload. I'll ask him to upload. For now, I'm sharing. Just.
Okay.
I'm just writing in the chat, so you can copy paste from here. Copy these commands and install. Oh, I have sent in the chat.
Okay. It's done. I think so.
Okay, I have sent you imports as well.
I tried this codes, but I didn't go ahead and got afraid.
Okay, no issues. And then I have sent in the chat for authenticate.
Yeah, authenticate. EE authenticate.
Yeah, EE authenticate column.
Okay. So now it's connecting.
Yeah. So it will ask a prompt. You'll get a prompt to connect to your Google Drive. Google account actually, not Drive. There's not, so it is already connected. That's why it hasn't asked. Now, just a minute. Just, copy this link I've sent in the chat and open it in your browser. console.cloud.google.com.
So it's separate page.
Yeah. This one.
This is the first one.
Okay. So you have this project rainfall data, right?
Yes, I have
Yes.
this one.
You want to link this only, correct?
Yeah. Also another one. I have another thing. I don't have.
Okay. You
I
can
can
create
create new
also.
project.
Yeah, you can create new.
Okay.
Hmm. Just create.
It means the same.
Okay, now you can you click back again on that rainfall data? No, not that. Rainfall data only. That tab.
Uh-huh.
Open the table. Now copy this ID from here.
Okay.
No. In the table itself, there is ID. No, not that ID. You have a column
Okay.
called ID.
In here, in this
Yeah.
side.
You just go a little above. Open that table only. Yeah. See, you have a column in that table.
Okay.
Click that tab only. My project. Click that tab.
Uh-huh.
Not this. This one only. You have ID, right? This.
Yes, I have ID. This one.
Right. You have a project ID. No, the project ID, the bottom one.
What the number? Yes. This is project number.
This. You have a project ID on the side. My project 988514905.
Yes,
This
this
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Copy the whole thing from my project.
From my project. Okay.
Copy this and go back to your collab. And instead of
And this
yes, replace this. Yeah. With double quotes. You have to put it inside
below.
double quotes. Yeah. Okay. Now come back to that. No, we still see now it is giving you error that you haven't done the registration and there is still Google Earth Engine API we haven't enabled, right? So we need to
Yeah.
enable the Google Earth Engine API. So go back to the console.
Uh-huh.
This one only. Yeah, this one only. Now once you have this, go to this. You have a quick access tab, right? APIs and services below. You have quick access. Come little
With
down, scroll. Yeah. Quick access, this API and services.
with access.
No, below this API and services. This one. Mm,
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
API services.
Yeah. Open this.
Okay.
Now you are getting the option to enable APIs and services plus icon with the blue
Yeah.
tab. Yeah, enable. Okay. Now search Google Earth here in this Google Earth. Now select this. And enable. Yeah.
It's a long process.
Yeah, little bit, but just you need to do it one time.
Enabled already.
Yeah.
Now we
So
can
you
run
have okay. No, wait. We still one thing is left. We have to register this project also. I have sent you another link. You open that link in the chat.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then you can pass here.
No. In the browser only. That link that
In
I
the browser.
sent, in the browser only.
Okay.
Okay. Now select your project from there. Select project tab. This one.
Yeah. Register.
Okay, it's the same thing. Okay. Give me a minute.
Register. Continue.
Yes, you are getting the option for this register. Now register to continue. No, not that
Or
one.
not.
Bottom one. Non-commercial
This one.
use. Get started.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Choose the organization. Choose it like for education. You can use this trainee one. last second.
for education. Others, okay.
Anything. Okay, next.
Next.
You can put it any choose anything.
Okay. Education.
Next.
Control
The-
people.
Hmm.
Community.
No, a community. Next. Check anything. Yeah. Choose anything. Yes, done register. Now come back to the collab. So there are
So you
two
can
things
run
that
now.
yeah. So there are two things that you need to do. One is register your project, another is enable the API in that project. Okay, now it's
Yeah,
done.
we
You can
enabled everything.
okay. Okay,
So now
so
it's
till
working. We can run
yeah,
everything
it's working. Yeah. Now your project is connected and now you can perform anything with the Google Earth Engine.
without downloading any data.
No, you need to load the data and everything. No, the data you need to the data you will get from Google Earth Engine only now. Google, whatever
Yeah,
data the
UCP.
Google have, you can fetch that. You build that connection now. Okay.
So instead of using code editor, we can use Google Colab. So it's the same.
Yeah. So you can use you are using basically the code editor of Google Colab for using the data, for using the Google Earth Engine capabilities of loading their data set. That is what we are doing.
Thank you, Mom. I got it.
Okay.
So very
Okay then.
difficult for this section.
Yeah.
Okay, bye bye.
No issues. Good night.